Hi everyone, this is your coach Sarah here, and today I am going to tell you what the 21 day fix is. So I know that a lot of times, at least for me personally, sometimes it's hard to get a sense of what something actually is like just from reading something online. So I thought I would make a quick little video about it to explain it to you and tell you all about it. So, a little bit of background in case you don't know, I am an herbalist and nutritionist, and I work with clients both in a one on one setting and in group settings. And the 21 Day Fix is one of the programs that I utilize with my clients on a really regular basis to help them achieve their health goals. So, for me, as an herbalist and a nutritionist, I really take the whole person into consideration when helping someone figure out what their goals, what their health are. So, obviously this isn't the program for everybody. It totally depends on what your goals are. But, some of the people that it is for, it's an amazing product. Okay, so what is the 21 Day Fix? So the 21 Day Fix is a fitness and nutrition program that helps you kind of either get started on, your health journey or maybe take it to a new level. So I'll tell you my personal story with the 21 Day Fix. So I always like to use programs before I recommend them to my clients, because how am I going to know what's right for someone if I've never even tried it myself? So the 21 Day Fix comes with 7 different workouts. They call it the 21 Day Fix because the idea is that it takes 21 days to break a habit, which, I don't know, you may or may not believe in that theory. I'm not sure I do yet. But really, I utilize parts of the 21 Day Fix well beyond 21 days with myself and with all of my clients. So it comes with 7 different workouts. They are 30 minutes long each, so really quick, easy to do at home, time crunched type of person workouts. There is a great modifier in there for people who are, new to exercise or just getting back into exercise after taking some time off for a while, or people who've had injuries, all sorts of stuff. And then there's ways to make the workouts harder for people who, kind of like me, came from doing stuff like P90X and P90X3. You're still going to get in a really killer workout in 30 minutes. So that's the workouts. It comes with this eating guide. So here's what I love so much about the 21 Day Fix is that it really is focused equally on the fitness and the nutrition. And actually, it's probably a little bit more geared towards the nutrition side of things, which is part of what I love about it so much, is it makes it really easy for me to educate my clients on kind of how to start thinking about what they're eating on a regular basis. And then it also comes with these cute little color-coded containers that you use to kind of measure and track your foods with. So for a lot of people, the idea of like measuring and tracking their foods can be complicated. I know the first time I really tried to look at what I was eating in the day and putting it on MyFitnessPal and looking at the calories of this and the calories of that. It was like I was probably spending an hour to an hour and a half every day, making sure all the numbers were right. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I'm wasting so much of my time. I don't need to be doing this. And this is way before 21 Day Fix came out, so I just kind of stopped. So when the 21 Day Fix came out, I was like, oh, okay, I should try this, see what it's like, see what it'd be like to utilize it with my clients. And the results blew me away. So, I'm a nutritionist already. I eat very healthy, what I would consider to be very healthy. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I still have coffee and wine and those types of things, but I eat rather healthy. And so I wasn't really expecting to experience anything necessarily with the 21 Day Fix. But I actually was really surprised with the results. So what I ended up discovering about myself when I was using the 21 Day Fix is that I was not eating what I thought I was eating. I was always really mindful, eating vegetables at pretty much every meal. I'm definitely the actual foods that I'm eating are always really healthy, like fresh organic fruits and vegetables, high quality meats, good quality fats, that type of stuff. But what I discovered was a couple of things. One, I was not eating as many vegetables as I thought I was. So, yes, I was having vegetables at every meal, but I wasn't quite getting to the serving sizes that I should have been eating in terms of the volume of my vegetables. And then the other thing that I discovered is that I wasn't eating enough carbohydrates. So, kind of accidentally, I, over the last few years, had sort of ended up being slightly low carb in my way of eating. And part of that just has to do with, I don't eat gluten, and I'm not, I call myself paleo-ish. You can check out my other blog post on why I say paleo-ish, because I eat some things that paleo people would say I shouldn't be eating. But I basically just eat what I feel like makes me feel good. Anyways, so because the carbohydrates that I can eat are pretty limited and I'm kind of picky about it, I just kind of ended up not eating very many carbs. And also, there's a lot of, like when you're trying to lose weight or lose fat more specifically, there's a lot of information about like cutting back on carbs, that type of thing. So incidentally, it ended up being semi-low carb. And so when I first started doing the 21-day fix program, I was like, whoa, three servings of carbohydrates a day? Like three, like sweet potato, rice, oats, quinoa, like whatever. I was like, that seems like a lot of carbohydrates. Like, oh God, I don't know what's going to happen. I was like, all right, I'm just going to trust it. So what I ended up discovering was in being slightly low carb, when I was hungry and my body was kind of craving carbohydrates, instead of eating carbohydrates, I was turning to things like nuts, most specifically. Nuts, really good, healthy fat. But when you're eating nuts, unless you count out your nuts like I started doing with the 21-day fix beforehand, you're just gonna grab yourself a little handful of almonds, or you just sit there with a bag of pistachios and eat them. And then before you know it, you've eaten the entire bag of pistachios. That's me, bag of pistachios. So, what that looks like is, so if you have, half a cup of rice versus half a cup of almonds, okay? So the rice has a lot more fiber, it has a lot more volume, it has a lot more water in it. So it makes you feel fuller. Half a cup of nuts, really good fats, really good protein, but there's also a significantly larger amount of calories in the half a cup of nuts. And because they're a lot less dense on the water side, you tend to want more of them than you do the carbs because they're less filling volume wise. So, stopping at half a cup of almonds, I was always like, I'm so hungry, I'm just gonna keep eating my almonds. So I was eating way more calories by eating all these almonds than I was by eating the carbs. Not only that, there's all these, all this other stuff about carbs in your adrenal glands, and I could go really detailed into all that stuff, but I'm not going to. So anyways, what I ended up discovering is that I wasn't eating enough carbohydrates. And so when I started eating more carbs, I actually lost weight. I legitimately lost about 8 pounds. And it wasn't in 21 days, by the way, because that's not the way true fat loss works. It was over several month period of time because you don't really want to lose that much weight in a short amount of time. But overall, I ended up losing about 8 pounds. And not only that, I felt better. Like I had more energy. I started sleeping a little bit better. And I can tell you I was really excited to start eating granola again. It was pretty, eye-opening for me. Not only did the 21-day fix really help me pay better attention to what I was eating, but it helped me to, that's it. It helped me pay better attention to what I was eating. It really helped me to visualize what a serving size of carbs was and a serving size of vegetables was. And all of this without a scale. Yes, if you have like some sort of like fitness competition that you're, working towards, you're going to need to be potentially a little bit more specific if you want to be. But for me personally, I don't want, my food and my food prep to take up all of my spare time and thought. I want it to be simple and easy, but I also want it to be effective. So, after using the containers, oh, by the way, I'll still show those to you, for a little while, at this point in time, I don't really need them anymore. I don't carry them around and I don't measure out all of my food. It took me a couple of months though before I started kind of transitioning away from using them on a more regular basis. The one container that I always carry around with me though is my little carb container. Because carbs are usually the spot where people are like, oh, I can eat all this cereal, right? I can just eat this whole bag. I don't feel like I need to count out my nuts a little bit more. I'm just a little more like cautious about how many nuts that I'm eating. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm hungry for something else. But I don't actually, utilize the containers all the time, except for this one. Literally travels with me. I measure out all my carbs with this one. And sometimes I measure them out and I don't eat them all. I'm not, like potatoes the other day. Didn't eat them all. It was full. Anyways, I'll show those all to you right now. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Okay, so there's the yellow container. This is for your carbs. There is a purple container. This is for your fruits. There is, I'll show you these little fun stacky bobs. So they all stack nicely into each other, so you just end up with like two little things. So we've got your green container, which is your vegetables. Got your red container, which is your protein. Blue container, which is healthy fats. So coconut milk, hummus, avocado, nuts, those types of things. And then you've got a little orange container, and this is for your seeds and salad dressings. And then you also get to use like teaspoons and other things like that, but I'm not going to go into all the details because there's a lot more to it than that anyways. So that's what the 21-day fix is. You get all these little containers, you get the eating guide, you get the workouts, and when you order a program through me, kind of like I said before, you get access to me as your coach. This is a really phenomenal system, and it can absolutely help you get results just straight out of the bag. But working with someone who has experience with it, who knows a little bit more about some of the nuances behind the nutritional aspects of it, is going to get you a lot farther. So the other thing that also comes with it, I almost forgot about this, is when you order the full challenge pack, you also get your first month's supply of my favorite nutrient-dense, like protein and nutrient shake. It's the best one that I've ever tried. As a nutritionist, I've tried pretty much every single one that there is out on the market, and it's the one that I find tastes the best, in addition to having a really phenomenal ingredient profile. I use the vegan ones. The vegan chocolate's my favorite, but I also like the vegan strawberry, mostly because I just don't digest dairy well. My husband uses the regular ones though. And it's got great amounts of protein in it. It's got a ton of fruits and vegetables. It's got a bunch of really awesome adaptogenic herbs, which as an herbalist, I do actually legitimately know what every single ingredient in there is and what it's doing. So if you want to know, you can ask me about that. But I love it because it tastes good when you just mix it with water. So, if you're really on the go and you just keep a couple packets in your bag, it's really nice to have a snack that you can just shake up with some water. A lot of those protein and other like nutrient shakes on the market don't taste good unless you blend them in a blender with ice and almond milk and frozen fruit. Like you would never just want to drink it straight. It'd be so gross. This one you can, I think, absolutely just drink straight with cold tap water. So anyways, that's that. So again, the 21-day fix is really a full fitness and nutrition and health program. It's really great for people who are, looking to get started on their health journey. It's also really great for people who, are already really interested in health, but feel like they, are missing something or like need a little bit of an edge, or people who are just kind of at a stalled place where they're like, okay, why, like what's not changing? What am I missing? I really think the 21-day fix is a great program for that. As a nutritionist, I didn't expect to see any changes using the program, but I did. And I think that in and of itself means that pretty much anyone who hasn't tried it is probably going to benefit from it. So anyways, hopefully this isn't too long and you're still watching this. If you are, that's great. And hopefully you send me an email and ask me your questions and let me know if you want to get started. All right, have a good day.